This is my outline. In Hinduism and Buddhism, the concept of right and wrong behavior is deeply tied to dharma or moral duty. The story of King Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita illustrates this through Arjuna's moral dilemma on the battlefield. Arjuna was a warrior that hesitated to fight in a war against his own kin. However, Lord Krishna advises him that, as a member of the warrior caste, it is his dharma to fight. Hinduism emphasizes that individuals must fulfill their caste duties without attachment to personal consequences, as this leads to spiritual progress. Right behavior is determined by one's roles in society, and fulfilling one's dharma leads to good karma, which influences future rebirth. The Buddhist teaching, as read in Setting in Motion the Wheel of the Law, rejects caste-based duty and instead focus on the Eightfold Path, which includes right speech, right action, and right livelihood. The Buddha teaches that human suffering arises from attachment and desire, and that right behavior involves rejecting self-indulgence, following the middle path instead. Unlike Hinduism, where duty is case-dependent, Buddhism teaches that anyone, regardless of social status, can achieve enlightenment by following moral principle and practicing meditation. The caste system in Hinduism divides society into four major groups, which is priests, warriors, merchants, laborers, with the Dalits, which are the untouchables, at the bottom. One case determines their occupation, social status, and religious duties. In belief, in Hindu belief, fulfilling one's caste duties leads to better reincarnation in the next life, while failure results in lower rebirth. In Buddhism, however, caste is irrelevant. The only true path to liberation, which is the nirvana, is through wisdom and ethical living. This rejection of caste appealed to many lower caste Hindus who found greater spiritual equality in Buddhism. Under the laws of Manu, women were expected to be obedient daughters, wives, and mothers. Their roles were restricted and they were subject to male authority throughout their lives. Women were considered dependent on men and were denied many religious and social freedoms. Buddhism offered women greater opportunities. Though still limited in some ways, Buddhist nuns could pursue a monastic life and work toward enlightenment. The Buddha allowed women to join the monastic order, which provided them with a degree of independence and spiritual fulfillment not available in the Hindu society. Buddha challenged Hindu traditions in several ways. First, he rejected the authority of the Vedas and the necessity of priestly rituals, emphasizing personal enlightenment instead. Second, he dismissed the caste system, arguing that one's action and intentions rather than birth determine spiritual progress. Third, he encouraged the monastic life as a means of escaping the cycle of rebirth, which contrasted with Hinduism's emphasis on fulfilling worldly duties. Many lower-caste Hindus, especially women, embraced Buddhism because it offered a path of spiritual freedom without caste restrictions. Unlike Hinduism, which maintained strict social rules, Buddhism taught that anyone, regardless of birth and regardless of gender, could achieve enlightenment. Women who were largely excluded from Hindu religious life found the greater good in Buddhism. The emphasis on compassion, ethical behavior, and personal meditation resonated with those who felt marginalized by the rigid structures of Hindu society. While Hinduism emphasized duty within the structured caste system, Buddhism provided a more inclusive spiritual path that challenged traditional rules and appealed to those seeking equality and liberation. Thank you.